Floor is yours.
This is the Burn It Down NASCAR podcast, post Tiregate edition. We missed last week. We had a lot of family stuff going on. Brian had a special visitor, so we took the week off. After Phoenix, not a whole lot of news coming out of Phoenix. I honestly can't even remember who won that thing. Holy crap. I should have at least looked that one up. But anyway, I thought it was a good race. Dude, just Phoenix real quick here.
Christopher Bell.
That's right. Seabell won it. First time a Chevy hadn't won all year.
Oh.
So with that being said, like I said, I don't want to dwell on old news, and we're not going to keep anybody interested. We had Bristol back on the pavement for the springtime for the first time in 4 years. And I was thoroughly enjoyed. I'm going to go first on this one because I know you and I were texting during the race and kind of throwing a fit. I was anyway, I'll admit it. And then I got to thinking about it, and I've had some time to do some reading. And I have to reconsider and say, that race was awesome. That was old school right there. The cream of the crop rose to the top. The people that remembered how to manage tires in a bad situation. The three oldest drivers in the series were 1, 2, 3, being Hamlin, Truex, and Keselowski. There was a lot of other faster cars, but I'm going to say it right here and right now. There were only 3 smart drivers. And that's I'm taking Kyle Busch out of that mess. I'm taking Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson. It's just, to me, again, after I had a lot of time to think about it, reflect on it, it doesn't matter if you're fastest on the first lap. It matters who's in front and fastest on the last lap. And Hamlin, Truex, Keselowski, they recognized early on in this race that there was a problem with those tires. I know Goodyear came out during the race, and I don't know what they said. I can't remember. Something to the effect of it was the same compound as they had last fall, but they don't know why it was wearing so bad this time. But I have had my mind changed. That was really cool. It just showed the guys with the most experience confronted the situation at hand and dealt with it the best. What do you think?
That's same. Because I was blaming the car at first. I'm like, no, that's not it. Then the tire, no. I mean, the tire's not it. Everyone, no one knows exactly why, because they did resin instead of PJ1.
Do you know why they did the resin instead of the PJ1?
No.
The fall. They wanted to find out if the resin would work better than the PJ1. I heard Elliott Sawyer today on NASCAR radio on XM, and he said they did that on purpose. Now they know that's not the best thing to do.
Well, they don't know. Well, they don't know if there was the resin or the track, because the track never blackened or rubbered in like normal on the higher. Because they were
No.
So they don't know if it was the resin or not. So it's a null and void test, because now they're saying,
according to him, they did that on purpose, and they think that the resin was gathering up or wearing the tire, which created those huge tire balls and pushed them up the track, and that's why it couldn't rubber in the track, like you said, as it go.
Yeah.
As at Bristol's like Darlington and some of those other high bank tracks, whereas the race goes on, the track takes on rubber and the line moves up farther. And they think because of the resin being down versus the PJ1 that it didn't allow the tires to do that. Telling you what they said on the radio today. Right or wrong,
Well,
that's that.
yes and no, because from what I understood when I was actually interested in watching Denny Hamlin's Detrimental podcast because he won the race and they understood it the best. And from watching his podcast, and when he found out it was the same tire as last year, and he doesn't think it was the resin that was causing it. He said the track was too cold, causing it.
Track temperature, if I remember correctly, was around 80-ish.
I thought it was like 60, 65 from what I was.
They said air temperature was in the mid
Yeah.
to low 60s.
Yeah, I don't know what the track temperature, but they said what they were speculating is because the track temperature was too cold to hold.
It makes sense if that's true.
It's probably a combination of, the perfect storm. Can they ever replicate it? Because that's what's going to take to make short track racing or, as a spectator, good. Because their short track package on the car sucks. So
yeah,
here you are.
Well, it was interesting how these guys they were keeping lap times. They were falling off a little bit, but when that right rear got corded, it was like
ice.
Somebody put a parachute out behind them.
Yeah.
They just like, whoa, they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, everybody wants them to try to keep that, do it again on every short track because they want that type of racing because it gets rid of all the other strategies of fuel and this and that, and it's literally managing your tires. And
yeah.
And that right there is incredibly fun to watch, especially Bristol. I couldn't imagine being in there in person, just watching cars just fling by other cars. Like, who's gonna hit? Who's gonna hit? Who's gonna hit? Who's gonna? Oh, you don't know where to look. So
that was a great race to be there in person,
yeah.
And I think it's going to do nothing but bump up attendance.
Yeah.
And I did not jump in on any conversations on social media, but I got so irritated with everybody complaining because there were empty seats. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But think about this. The last spring race, there was only like 48, 50 something thousand people there. They had 68 at this race. So they increased their attendance by going back to concrete. And that's in a context of a stadium or a racetrack that holds 145. So, yes, it wasn't a sellout like it was in days past. They were less than half full. Got it. But the attendance was up. 10, 15,000 people. I don't think that's horrible. It was an increase. I haven't seen the
up 10%.
TV up 10%?
From last year's race, up 10%.
So whether you agree with NASCAR or not, they seem to be moving in the right direction.
But I also think the social media and everybody talking about the tire freaking out, I think that also obviously drew people to watch it, which it's a good thing. People talking about your product. So here's the thing, NASCAR, don't fix it. Don't fix it.
Yeah, like I said, I think this is the first time in quite a while that I can say they finally didn't fix something that wasn't broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't fix it. I know I know most of the drivers had fun with it, but obviously it can be frustrating, but like, don't fix it. You deal with it. This is how it's going to be.
Well, like I started out with, I just think it showed. And let's face it, I don't have a whole lot of respect for Denny Hamlin as a person. But as a race car driver, those three guys, they showed what they're made of. And they figured it out fast. And they, on those last I don't know, a handful of restarts, Hamlin, Truex, and Keselowski would kind of fall back a little bit. And then they just slowly, and then people would, or drivers would start,
Ty
blow
Gibbs.
it.
Ty Gibbs. He was prime example.
Oh, he was the class of the field.
Prime example. He was just smoking it up, and then it just wear it out, and then guess what?
Kyle Larson.
Reeled it in.
Kyle Larson, same thing. In fact, Ty Gibbs won stages 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But
the reason, and I don't think this may be the reason, but it definitely helped Denny. He said he noticed it in the practice. They knew that the race was going to come down to tire wear, not as what it was, but they knew the tire wear was extreme from the practice. The 30-minute practice run they had, they knew. So they had an inkling going in.
Like you said, experience made a difference. It truly made a difference. And like I said, I was kind of irritated while it was going on, but after
reflecting,
I'm with you. Yeah, don't fix it. That was awesome. Now think about guys with a whole lot of talent, and I go back to the HMS guys, a lot of the JGR guys. They just got schooled. And I bet you go back in August, it'll be a lot more. They won't do those jackrabbit starts and I'm in front and all that. They'll manage them tires a lot better. But it was a good race. It really was. There wasn't a whole lot of wrecking, but most of the wrecking was due to the tires blowing out.
Well, here's where we always complain about short track racing. There's no passing. Guess what? There was passing.
A new NASCAR record of all time.
So,
55 or 57
race
lead changes.
So, like, we gonna do? Complain about it? No, you can't. Really.
I think I may reschedule a vacation for August.
We'll see what they do, because they're gonna have to announce what they're gonna try to do. Are they gonna change it to PJ1? Are they gonna change the tire compound, because that's gonna be a completely different race?
Well, he didn't come right out and say it, but Elliott Sawyer kind of, you got the impression they were going back to the PJ1 for the fall race.
So it's gonna be a different race.
We'll see. It's gonna be a lot warmer. So. All right, run it down here. We had Hamlin in first, Truex was second, Keselowski was in third, Bowman fourth. Larson held on, and I mean, he was doing everything but wiping his ass trying to stay in that position, but he was fifth. John Hunter Nemechek was in sixth. Buescher was seventh. Chase was eighth. Ty Gibbs ended up in ninth. Christopher Bell rounded out the top 10. Notables, Michael McDowell had a good showing in 11th. Ross Chastain, dead last on the start of the race, ended up 15th. Blaney was 16th. Eric Jones, who was like a dart without feathers most of the day. Logano was 22nd. Kyle Busch, he's not happy with his team right now. That was a big thing this week. What is he on, his second or third pit crew rotate? I mean, they've been rotating people in and out of his pit crew for
Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
What do you expect? When you keep changing people up, it's changing with the rhythm. So you're gonna have more mistakes as it goes.
That's a fact. Bubba, 29th. We ought to start doing the over-under again on Bubba, because he's had a rough 2 races. Tyler Reddick, who was kind of one of the race favorites, he finished 30th.
Byron.
Willie B, 35th. So that's that. with that, your standings are Larson and Truex and Ty Gibbs. No, excuse me. Martin and Truex tied at 185. Third place is Ty Gibbs. Fourth is Blaney, 1 point behind Gibbs. Denny Hamlin with the win moves into fifth and with 173. Elliott is sixth. Chastain is hanging in strong with 152. He's still 33 behind Larson. Bell is in eighth. Reddick in ninth. Byron in 10th. Bowman is in 12th. Keselowski 13th. Kyle Busch is 16th. Bubba falling like a rock down to 18th. Let's see. Logano. That guy can't buy a break. He's down in 26th. Holy crap. 110 out of, he's like 3 races out of first place. And that's pretty much it on those guys. So, overall, like I said, I thought after getting my head on straight, I really, I had one of the first times I had to actually sit there and think about,
yeah.
that was good. That was good. That was okay. Because I was irritated because I was banging Goodyear the whole time. I was like, what the hell? Don't you guys do any testing? I'm sure you're going to blame it on the tire pressures and the crew chiefs. And now that, like I said, there's one of those races I had to take a day or two, and it's like, that was old school.
Yep.
So, unless you got anything else on Bristol, we got, well, that was Phoenix. Never mind. We won't even talk about that, where we did our picks. We can move into some kind of newsworthy things if you got anything there.
News?
Yeah, just happenings.
Dale, I don't know if you saw Dale Jr. and Hendricks they made a thing post last night, and everybody speculating that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to jump in a car for a race, for like the All-Star race.
It's the All-Star race, yeah.
And it wasn't. It was Chase Elliott's doing a throwback of Dale Earnhardt's Daytona 500 for Darlington.
I saw that.
Everybody was all let down.
The internet blew up last night about him running in the All-Star race.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it might be possible, but that wasn't the announcement.
No. Well, he can do it if he wants to. It's all past and present.
Yeah.
He could actually do it. And Hendricks got the money to do it, so.
Yeah.
While we're talking about HMS, they set another milestone this week by leading 80,000 laps among 29 different drivers under the HMS umbrella. But they far and away have led more laps in NASCAR history than anybody else, and that number is 80,000. And I thought that was pretty cool. I got a few things here. We already talked about the lead changes, covered that. Just some really kind of feel-good things. Bobby Labonte has been hired by JGR as an ambassador. Now, I'm not sure what that means he's going to do. If it's some kind of recruiting, maybe.
Maybe like overlooking type thing. Just
if
he sees anything that he doesn't like or he likes or opinions, and kind of like a Kurt Busch, how he is to 2311.
Yeah, 2311. I think that's kind of what it is, to a mentor type of deal. Did you see Mark Martin's rant on the new car? Woo! Look it up, buddy. He's like, there's no way. He says, I could not drive that POS. And he said it. He's like, holy. He says, what is NASCAR doing with the new car and the one vendor parts and all of this?
Yes. Now, that when you said that, last week, did you see everybody talk about adding horsepower to the car?
Oh
The
yeah, that was a
conversation
big thing.
huge
And
last week about they talked to all kinds of drivers, and obviously the drivers talked to engine builders, and they said we can go we can would it come
they
in
want
1,000
horse.
horsepower. And Denny Hamlin, even like I said, I try to whatever, and even Denny Hamlin says it's gonna cost the same. There's no difference in price from 1,000 horsepower to what they have the 450 or whatever 550 they have now, whatever it is. There's no difference in cost. He goes, I know. I pay the bills for motors we buy. I know. There's going to be no difference. And then Kyle Larson was on the Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s podcast, and he said the same thing. He talked to him, and his motor he won at Vegas, Hendricks is converting it, the same exact motor, to put in one of his personal cars to 1,000 horsepower. He goes, we have the parts. It's not hard to do.
Isn't it the tapered?
Well, there's probably more than that, but it's not tremendous amount of work. They said we could do it in a week. We can. Here's what I don't know if I posted on. I think I commented on the I think the detrimental one, Denny Hamlin. He's talking about, well, we could do it at no cost difference and blah, blah, blah. And I said, why don't you actually go out there, put 1,000 horsepower motor in one of your cars, because you own it, go do a test, and give them the data. How hard was that to be? You already had the data of the current car. Go put 1,000 horsepower motor in it and show the data.
If it doesn't cost any.
Yeah, any different. Just do it. Just do it yourself. You'll be changing the sport.
I wonder what kind of difference that would make.
The thing is though, they would have to do multiple cars because they got to be able to see if it can pass, how it races together in a pack. They can't just do one car. So I understand, like, we got to buy 5 motors and we got to try 5 cars. I get that, but do it. You guys, I mean, you don't have unlimited money, but like, prove that it works. They don't think it works because they do their stupid AI or the iRate. They're whatever they test, but they don't actually test 1,000 motor. They just don't want it because they're trying to be intriguing to Honda and all these other manufacturers, because they don't they want to be enticing to them to bring in instead of 1,000 horsepower. Do it. Just do it and prove it. That's how I feel. You got the money. If not, get with all the owners, get with Joe Gibbs, get with 2311, get with Hendricks, get with Penske. Each one of you do it. Instead of just every one person do it, each man.
Stewart Haas, and then make a day of it.
Yeah, make a day.
Could actually do a show.
Yeah.
Do it on TV.
Exhibition show, whatever, and just have all of you put 2 motors in 2 of your cars and go.
Do a couple of heat races.
Yeah, and just show what it's like. It's an exhibition, non-NASCAR funded, blah, 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 and just show it. And if you want to try to change it, okay, I don't know if you could change the spacer, how they do for Talladega and Daytona. See if, lower the horsepower or change. There's a lot of stuff they can do with this car. It's just do it. Prove it. They're not going to listen to you because you say, oh, let's just do it. It don't cost money. No difference. Show them.
Well, a little side of me suspects that NASCAR may already be in, because there was such a loud outcry.
Oh, there was. And here's the thing. I haven't heard anything about it because of the tire thing, but no one's talking about it now. It was 1 week, and that's it.
Yeah, they quit posting, but I saw all of them were. It wasn't just Hamlin. There were other folks that were talking about it as well.
Yep.
And I saw some blogs and that kind of thing. I don't know. I still say, run what you brung. If you cheated better, you're the winner. And if you got caught, you're not cheating unless you get caught. So, but yeah, I agree. I prove it. Let's do something. Let's, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I guarantee
But
you, better for the product. Like I said, call all the owners, and I guarantee you, Trackhouse would be down. I guarantee you, Hendricks would be down. Penske, prove it. Make 1,000
if it
horsepower
doesn't
motor.
cost anything to
Extra.
change it up,
Do it.
yeah. Huh? Good idea. Did he respond to you?
No.
No. Another little thing that I got a kick out of, Kyle Petty, and I don't know where he said it. It was on I think it may have been on Dale Jr.'s podcast, said that Kyle Busch is the best racer of all time. And I'm like, do you know your dad? Do you know Dale Jr. or Dale Sr.?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Kyle Busch isn't in the top,
10.
Maybe 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever of all time, but he emphatically stated best of all time. And I'm like, sir.
He likes to
might
open his mouth to create controversy and somebody talking about him. That's for damn sure. So.
Oh, you might want to just rephrase that a little bit and maybe categorize it instead of emphatically saying best of all time. I've said for a long time, Kyle Busch has got more talent in his little finger than most drivers today have overall. But I wouldn't put him as the best of all time.
No.
There's no way. Senior had 7 championships along with Kyle's dad. Kyle's dad won over 200 races. It's like, dude, that was just way out of I actually laughed when I saw that.
Dude's out of touch.
He's out of touch. All right. But I think like you said, he likes to say things just to get attention.
Well, him and Kenny Wallace, both of them do.
Oh, geez. At least I don't have to watch Kenny Wallace on my TV anymore. You got to go look for him. I'm still sick and tired of the grid walk with
Michael?
Waltrip. That is just so awkward. It doesn't make any sense. But there was one other. Oh, wait a minute. I don't remember if we covered it on the last. We couldn't have because it just happened. Dale Jr. is officially out of the NBC broadcast, and he's going.
He's doing
to Amazon.
Yeah, he's doing the Amazon 5 races midseason. Yes.
Yeah.
NBC hasn't announced their lineup yet, so I'm assuming it's gonna be who's the main broadcaster on NBC. I can't remember his name. I think it's gonna be Junior's gonna bring him along, and I wouldn't bring Burton, but Junior is, I think, gonna bring that main broadcaster over from NBC.
Look, not Letarte.
No, I don't know his name.
Okay.
But I don't know how true it is, but Junior can't be the main guy. He's the analyst and the car like a Harvick is, but he's not the main guy. So there needs to be someone there, but it's only 5 races or something like that. Amazon's covering. I don't know. He might be more busy than you thought because I think Amazon's covering all the qualifying and. Didn't I say that right? Qualifying and practices. So he's gonna be busy.
I believe that you're right.
Yeah, I think he's busy.
Now, are those 5 races still going to be on NBC? I mean, as soon as Fox is done,
no,
there's going to be 5 races, and you got to watch it on Amazon, huh?
Yeah. Hold on.
I'll wait for the YouTube version.
I'm trying to figure out what the new deal is here. For exactly what. You're right. There it is. Come on. Where's that? Fox NBC Sports and continue to majority of NASCAR series with 14 events each.
28. So that's 8 that aren't.
Trying to find the. Prime Video will exclusively stream 5 NASCAR races as part of the streaming service. As part of the 7-year deal, Prime Video will also exclude coverage of practice and qualifying. So yeah, that's what I heard. for the first half of the NASCAR Cup season, excluding the Clash in Daytona and All-Star Race. Prime Video will also be working with NASCAR Studios for the upcoming Garage 56 documentary. All NASCAR races, qualifying practice, and other content will be available to Prime members in the U.S. So,
but the actual races, aren't they staying on broadcast?
No, five of them. Prime Video will exclusively stream 5 NASCAR races as part of the streaming service's first foray into live motorsport.
Okay.
So it's Fox doing the first 14, then Prime Video's picking up the mid-season, and the NBC's doing the last 14 races. I'm trying to see.
So that's 8 races. Isn't there 36 in the season?
Well, I think TNT's picking up some too.
Okay. All right.
Trying to figure out where. TNT Sports races will stream live on the BR Sports Radio. Second half practices. I don't know. It's all second half. So I'm assuming the NBC version of practice and qualifying is gonna be on TNT Sports. We simulcast on Max and True TV. It'd be so confusing to figure all this out.
It will. We'll figure it out. Like I said, I may have to wait for the YouTube version on a couple of the races, but it is what it is. Because I'm not buying that crap. I already pay for satellite. I'm not doing that. All right. Let's move on to fantasy.
You got.
I got it.
I told Mom to take it.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get it next year. That is a big ass mug.
You didn't realize how big it was.
That's a lot. But thank you. This is the booby prize for last year. I think it's gonna be back in your house for this year after we're done. I got you at Phoenix by 20, Bristol by 25. Hey, I haven't got to do this much. I am in front, 919 to 892, which is a 21-point lead. I've never done that. And then you got Desert Driver, who hasn't changed the driver since race 1 at 624, so he's doing all right.
Well, after the 5th race, was this the 5th race? His drivers are Dawn, so it don't matter. It's going to be 0 points after that.
No, you got 10. You got 10.
Oh, right. It's 10.
Yeah, playoffs is 5. So, and I'm using worst driver.
I did some weird drivers this time, I think.
But
who would I pick? No, I guess I didn't, because Byron screwed me, and then Logano screwed me. And
let me see. My entries view. I had Elliott, Larson, McDowell, Gibbs, and Bell. And I had Kyle Busch in the garage, and I kept him there. Oh, cool. It looks like they've got the pairings up for Cota. You want to do that real quick? Hello?
Yeah, I'm looking at what they are. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do it here. Oh, they do have it.
Yeah, they got it up.
Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch? Road course? That's going to be Denny. I'm sorry. Right? Denny?
I'm going with Kyle on this one.
I don't know. No, that's definitely... The next one's going to be tough. Reddick or Larson?
I'm taking Reddick.
Oh. It all really depends. It's hard to say. It's all really where they qualify, because if they qualify like shit, there's no... I mean, I would take
I agree.
I would take Larson, but I'd Reddick. I mean, they're both great at road courses.
All right, Suarez, Chastain.
Like I said, all to when they. I would say Chastain. He's the more hot one right now.
I'm taking Suarez.
Bowman or Cindric?
Bowman or yeah, Bowman.
I
for
would
me.
take Bowman. Yeah, Cindric isn't a bad pick, but he just isn't consistent enough to say. But honestly, for two of those picks, it's on where they qualify.
Well, we are definitely gonna have because I promise I'm gonna go with what I just told you as my picks.
I'm mine. Two of them
So-
are still coin flip for me.
But like I said, I'm pretty pleased with my uh, performance so far this year because I haven't used the heavy hitters so much. And my worst race, I think, was Daytona where I had a 143. Atlanta, I had a 190. Vegas was 186. Then Phoenix, I had a 227. I was pretty strapping proud of that one. And then I had a 203 at Bristol. So, I'm sorry. It's been 3 years and I finally get to.
I had bad 2 weeks, to be honest.
You have. You have. All right. Let's. I got to get back to the standings. Cup Series, where are we at? Oh, come on. That's not what I wanted. Come on. Talk to me. All right. Cota, who's your pick to win? And who is your pick as the dark horse, 25th and below?
I'm gonna say Chase to win. He's always done well
All
at
right.
Cota.
Chase is having a sorry ass year.
No, he's not. He's 16 points. How's that sorry ass?
I'm telling you.
He just went up 3 in positions. Like, he only led 18 laps, but he has, he's consistently being there.
I think he's got some more. Okay. I'm going with Reddick. And who's going to be your dark horse?
Joey Logano.
20. That bingo. That's who I was going with as well. So
he's had a rough year, if you want to say anybody.
But it's not been performance. It's been bad luck. And he's gotten involved in a lot of other people's garbage. You could say the same about Keselowski.
Yeah.
But both of them, sooner or later, are going to bust out. And I've been saying that about Keselowski ever since he bought RFK, but that hadn't happened. So, all right, my man. I'm just kind of scrolling through, seeing if there's anything that pops like normal when we're doing this, and I don't see anything. Oh, there it is. Bristol TV ratings. I didn't see that earlier. They were up 11%.
Yeah, it was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, it was 11%. Wait a minute, over last year's race from Atlanta. No, you're right. It's up 10% over the Bristol Dirt race. They were up over 11% over Atlanta, which had aired on this weekend last year, because they moved Atlanta back up in the schedule like it used to be, where they were the second race. I think last year they were the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. I don't have much else other than, unless you do. No. Just remind everybody, please join us in our fantasy league. It's NASCAR Live. Sign up. It's free. Join us. Uh, we have fun with it. Also check out the Facebook page, True NASCAR Fans. We got 2 more people this week, so
There you go.
they're starting to get in there. We have it's more just posting news and stuff like that, and we get discussions going. So other than that, I'm done.
Okay. Me too.
All right, everybody. Thanks again. See you next week.